This is Ben Davison. Subscribe to Sporting Icons.
The Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, former unified heavyweight champion of the world, current lineal champion, and of course undefeated. And he said that his comeback is not about money, it's not about glory, it's just about doing what he loves to do, which is box. That's all it is, and of course beat his demons. So anyway, this is what Tyson Fury had to say with his fight as well, coming up on June the 9th at the Manchester Arena in Manchester, of course. So this is what Tyson Fury had to say. Not everything in life is about money, and I realise that everything could be taken away with the flick of a switch. So you have to be very thankful for being healthy and happy in life. The rest of it is just a bonus. I don't care about money, I don't care about fame, I don't care about glory. I'm not interested in having a fast car and a suit. Someone once told me that the only difference between winning and losing is how you feel afterwards. As long as you give your best effort and you do what you can do, there is no shame in losing a fight. There is no shame in losing to a better man in a fight, is there? If a man is too good for me, I'll shake his hand and say, "You were too good for me, mate. Good man. Now let's go get a beer." But if I'm too good for him, then I expect the same. Sportsmanlike conduct, I think it's called. Tyson Fury statement. And that's a fair enough statement, to be honest. Absolutely fair enough. Now, he does like his fast cars and all that kind of thing. We know he does. He's pretty flash over there on Instagram at times. But ultimately, why not? So he's saying that he's not really bothered about getting the money. Now, of course, the rematch against Vladimir Klitschko, he was set to earn around about 10 million for his fight in Manchester, which ultimately was postponed, then postponed again, and then ultimately cancelled due to him having depression issues and, of course, getting a lot of flack from the media and virtually no support from the public. Now, of course, he did contribute to a lot of that with a lot of his words and some of his antics, but to be fair, he was just being himself. And at times, he did say that he was saying these things just to grab the headlines, as in, all news is good news, right? So his profile is well and truly through the roof, whether you love him, whether you hate him, whether you're in between, you know who he is and you'll watch him fight. So ultimately, the money's going to come anyway. He can say he doesn't care about the money, but it's going to come anyway, right? He's not going to get no 50 grand per fight, is he? Now, of course, when he beat Vladimir Klitschko over in Dusseldorf to get the WBO, WBA, IBF, and of course Lineal, Ring Magazine, all that kind of jazz, titles, he got stripped pretty much straight away for the RBF because he agreed to have a rematch with Vladimir Klitschko, even though he didn't need to because he was the mandatory, right? And he was the mandatory for the WBO. So he didn't have to give him a rematch, but he ultimately did just to make the negotiations a bit smoother. Maybe got like a little bit more percentage to fight Klitschko at the time. So he turned down 10 million to just walk away from the sport. So that kind of shows how low he actually was at that time. And he's come a long way now. Obviously, he's changed trainers, which is what me and you guys have been saying for quite a while when he was talking about doing a comeback. And ultimately, that's exactly what he'd done. I mean, we come up with the idea because that's what Billy Joe Saunders done, right? And, he ended up with Adam Booth and then ultimately with Dominic Ingle. And look at the transformation of him. And we said that would be a good idea for Tyson Fury to keep family aside from business. So his trainer, his uncle, Peter Fury, should no longer train him and just keep him as family. And now he's with Ben Davison, a young, hungry, motivated trainer. So obviously doing a good job as well, because look at the transformation of Tyson Fury. He went in there, I don't want to be rude, but he looked terrible when he first walked in there. And, he put on so much weight and he looked so much out of condition. But now look at him. He's back to what he looks like. He's fighting weight already. And now he can concentrate on his next opponent. Who knows who that's going to be. I'm fully expecting his first couple of fights back to just be against people that maybe you haven't heard of before. Or, fine well, he could beat with one arm tied behind his back ordinarily. But it's to get back in the ring. It's to get back under the spotlight, in front of the crowd, all that kind of thing, to kind of see what it is that he's got. I mean, of course, he will know a lot of it in sparring, but sparring is totally different to the live event. So a journeyman fight next is ultimately what's going to happen. But who's that going to be? Who knows, to be honest, who knows? So he says that he just wants, he just didn't want to box anymore, and that's why he walked away. But now he does. That's all he wants to do is fight. And that's good news for Tyson Fury fans, right? Like me, I support Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. It does seem that there's a bit of a divide between the fans. I don't quite understand it myself. I mean, for me, because they're both British, so of course I still support them. Now, at 6'9", he's a big, big man. And he can handle anybody on his day. Now, he's not the biggest puncher in the world, as in knockout artist, but I do expect him to knock out his next couple of opponents. That's what I fully expect. And ultimately, hopefully, get in there with Anthony Joshua so we can have the undisputed champion, Anthony Joshua, if Wilder was to ever step up to the plate and man up and actually sign a contract. Or if not, we can have Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder, again, if Wilder was to man up. But let's not hold our breath on all that one. So ultimately, we have to wait and see what's going to happen. Ben Davison seems to be doing a very good job with him right now. Tyson Fury seems happy in himself. He seems motivated. He's hungry again. So absolutely fantastic. Can't wait for him to come back. So Manchester Arena, June 9th. Tune in. Drop your thoughts below. Click that thumbs up. Subscribe. Catch you next video.